Hey guys, so I've mentioned in the past that I am a huge fan of horror films, and I love like the gory horror films. They don't necessarily have to have a great story, as long as there's a lot of blood and a lot of action and a lot of uh, you know murder and crazy stuff going on. I enjoy those types of films. I like stuff like what was it? Hostel. Um, But yeah, I like that kind of stuff. But I also enjoy old children's films, like nostalgic types of children's films. I love like The Neverending Story. That was a great movie. And what was that movie? The about the books and whatever with Macaulay Culkin. Uh, I can't think of the name of it, but it was a good movie. And I would say even up until like whenever Toy Story came out, there were good kids films. A lot of them, a lot of Disney films, throughout the entirety of the Disney franchise have been pretty risque and have very subliminal messages in them, and they're out to corrupt your children. But I will say that I do enjoy watching those. I enjoy watching Peter Pan. I like Dumbo. I think that there are some good things to be taken away from these films, but you have to be very guarded in your pursuit of truth if you are trying to figure out what this movie is all about. And I think that's what anyone intuitively does when they are watching a film. Sure, in their mind, they're thinking that they're just trying to be entertained, but I think that when you're watching a film, you're trying to figure out what you're seeing. Obviously, because that's what life is. You're observing and you're trying to figure out what is going on around you. So, I think that when you have films that show, you know, like homeless children coming and convincing a family of children to run away and basically go somewhere where their parents will never find them, that's not something that you want to show your children. At least that's not something I want to show my children. And I'm not judging you if you think that Disney is great and that you think that that is the if you are letting Walt Disney raise your children. I'm not judging you. But I would say, Walt Disney is not you. Walt Disney can't give the readiness and expedient experience that you have. You know what I'm saying? If a child has a question, they can't ask Walt Disney. So, I want to be a father so bad. The reason I started this channel is so that one day my future children will be able to look back on these videos and have a somewhat of a closer connection with me than they might have had. Shh, shh. But yeah, I think children are very important to me. I'm very protective over children. I don't care how annoying a child ever is. Nothing within me ever would want to hurt a child. I just want to bring that child to a closer experience with anything, a closer experience to life. You know what I'm saying? I want to build up that child's awareness so that they are more suited to handle the world. So yeah, I'm in school to be a teacher right now. I don't know if I'll really enjoy that because I hated school and I think it's basically indoctrination. But if I can teach kids some stuff while giving them an honest, unbiased perspective, I think it's worth it, and I'm just gonna do it because I think it's the right thing for me to do. I like kids, and I think that children need more strong male role models in their lives, and you know, if I can be one, great. And I want to teach young kids, because I want to be able to meet these children while they're still young and have some time to adjust their perspectives and aren't so set in their ways. When I was in high school, I was way more close-minded than I am now, So I just want to be able to make an effective change in people's lives that they will hopefully benefit from. And that's not much of about nostalgia, but nostalgia is back to nostalgia. I love The Princess Bride. That's probably my favorite film of all time. I always say it's Pulp Fiction. I mean, I have different categories, you know what I'm saying? Like the action films, Pulp Fiction, the kids movies, Princess Bride, horror films. I really like The Collection. I think it's like the only film where the sequel is better than the original film. So, I'm interested in so many things. But trying to find the motivation to get on here and talk about myself is kind of difficult at times. I do want my kids to have something to be able to look back on and say, this is how my father was. Well, kids, let me tell you one thing about your father. He's he's a lone wolf. He does not have a lot of friends, doesn't want a lot of friends, and is mostly just into isolating and watching InfoWars and reading the Drudge Report. Feel free to leave me a comment. Love you guys. Peace.